Welcome to Chair Yoga. In today's practice, we're going to work with our spines. Our spines can move in 6 different directions. So practice with me today and see if you can see all those different directions your spine moves in as we build a healthier spine. Let's sit tall and start with our breathing. Our breathing can affect how our spine is. So let's just roll the shoulders down our back, draw the belly in ever so slightly, and then breathe up and down the spine. So we breathe into the lungs and it moves the muscles in the torso. And those muscles in the torso are connected to our spine. So we breathe, drawing the breath deep into the diaphragm, and then exhale slowly. Just start to witness your breath here today. And notice how your breath affects your body. With a special attention today on the spine. Do you grow taller when you breathe in? And then it releases back downward when you exhale? Do you find that your ribs splay out away from the center of the body and then contract back in? Just observe what your body's doing right now. And let's just close our eyes for a moment so we can take our mind's eye into the core of the body and think about the spine from the tailbone to the base of your neck. Maybe on the inhale, expand that vision of the spine upward. Hold it there as you exhale. Keeping the shoulders over your hips. And then flutter your eyes open again. So we'll start with the top of the spine in the neck here. So we'll just turn our gaze from one side to the center and to the other side. And just notice where you feel that tension. And remember, no pain. Don't go too far that you have pain. And if you do have pain, you might want to check with your doctor just to be on the safe side, right? And then bring it center and look up and look down, up and down towards the lap. And then center it again. Tilt your ear towards your shoulder. Feel the stretch in the opposite side of the neck. Come up center and tilt in the other direction. And then come up to center and sit tall. Let's roll our shoulders, starting to get into the middle of the back now, and roll them in the other direction. And then holding the hands in Tadasana, sitting tall. Let's inhale the shoulders up towards the ears, exhale them down. Sort of massaging the muscles all around the upper spine here. Good, good. Feels good to me. And then rest your hands on your lap and let's do a cat-cow. So we tuck our chin, look down, and then come up and maybe take the gaze to where the ceiling meets the wall. And around again, exhaling here. Inhaling as you lift. Notice the shoulders start to get into the action. Yeah. So they drop back and down as we look up, and then they come forward as we look down. Go ahead, let your shoulders move with your cat-cow. And then once again, bring the hands by the side of the chair in our mountain in the chair. And we'll take one hand up and one hand down and just lean over. And then come back to center. Let's do it again. One hand down, one hand up, just lean to the side and come back up. One more time on this side. Notice where you feel the stretch, and also notice where you feel the compression. And then come on back, and let's do it in the other direction. So with awareness, tilt to one side and come back up to center again. Right here, hold it and observe. Where are you feeling the stretch, and where do you feel the compression in the muscles around the spine? And again, no pain, just a nice stretch. Come on back to center and rest your hands. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Sitting taller, remembering the breath is also moving the muscles that nurture the spine here. So we're going to come lower into the spine, the lower spine here. We're going to engage our lower belly by pulling it in, and on the exhale, hold that there, exhale, and then release it. Squeeze the bottom part of your body here, your glutes. Pull up in the pelvic area, nurturing the lower spine here today. We'll do a little pelvic tilt right here. So we lift the front of the hips, but just leaning back a little bit and then forward. So moving here in the body, tilt. So it's not just leaning back, but it's actually trying to lift the pelvic forward and back. Rocking maybe on your sit bones here. And then release and come to stillness and take a few breaths. And once again, let's come back to our cat-cow. We tuck the chin. So the chin gets into the neck area, right? Tilting the chin forward, round the shoulders forward, upper back. Push the belly back. That's getting into your lower back. And now tilt your pelvic. Tilting it upward towards your chin, and then come back to neutral. So now we're going down the whole spine here. Tuck, shoulders, belly in, pelvic tilt, and release it. So you can stay in the chair for our practice today. I'm going to do a few things standing. So join me standing now as we continue that cat-cow. I find that I get a little more movement in the spine when I'm standing. Maybe you would too. So let's give it a try, right? You're going to have one hand on the chair or both hands on the hips or on your thighs. I'm going to keep my hands here. Tuck the chin, drop the shoulders, pull the belly in, tilt the pelvic forward, and then release it and stand tall. Inhale here, exhale, let's round it up. And come back to neutral. 2 more times with me as we work through our spine today. One more, tuck, round, pull the belly in. Tilt the pelvic, bend the knees a little, and then come up to our mountain. And stay here and take a couple breaths again. And then we'll bring the arms up when you're ready, reaching out to one side, opening up here in the side body as we do that, and then take the other arm up and stretch out the other side. Here, we're just lifting through the muscles. We're going to take it to a side bend right here. Interlace your hands, point your index finger or your pointer finger up over your head, and then soften your knees, tilt to one side. And if you're not comfortable, you could just use one hand and keep the other hand on the chair for stability. Using our chair as we need it here. And then come on back up through center, straighten the legs, reach high, lengthen that spine. Keep the chin neutral, bend the knees, and take it over to the other side. Again, hand can be on the chair for stability. And come on back up, reach up, lengthen the spine from top to bottom, and then soften the knees, and we go to the other side. Reach up and out, really feel that in the side body here. And come on back up, soften the knees, and over to the other side. And come on back up and release the arms down. Give them a shake and then pause for a moment. So facing the chair, bring one foot forward, one foot back. Both feet are flat. Maybe the back foot turns out a little bit. We bend into the front knee so it's right over the ankle. And we can bring our hand to that thigh or our forearm. Find your position. And then once you're here, you're not here, you're here. So we're going to lift the heart up. Keep the chin slightly tucked. Place the other hand on your lower back. Just feel how, now we're taking this position in a side bend, but our spine is still pretty straight. We'll take that top arm up over our ear and lengthen that top side of your ribs all the way from the hips to the shoulder in side angle pose. Breathe here. Reach a little further. Exhale and hold it. And then bring it back. Bend that top arm. Bring it back to your lower back and come up. Straighten the front leg. And we'll come into triangle, sliding the hand down above the knee, below the knee. And we hold it here. Notice my top arm still rests against the spine until I find that length in the spine in triangle. And then we bring that top arm up. And then lift through your heart center here, stimulating the muscles around the spine. Hold here for a couple more breaths. Maybe you look down at your foot. Maybe you look straight ahead. Maybe you look up. And then we'll take that top arm down to the mid-back, bend into that front knee, and push yourself up. And turn your feet here, forward, step it in. So we're going to do that on the other side. You can move your chair if you want. I'm just going to keep my chair right where it is. We step wide and turn that other foot out. Now bend into the knee so that the knee is right over the ankle, supporting you. The back foot can turn out a little bit. And we'll take side angle first, so keep that one arm on your back and take the other arm down to your thigh. Leaning sideways here, we're opening up the space between the ribs here by stretching through those muscles. You could be high, you could be here. Just come to a place where you feel it. And then maybe you take the other arm forward and up. And hold. Again, you could look at your foot. You can look straight ahead. You can look up at your hand. And we keep the chin slightly tucked, even if we're looking up. And we reach through our crown of our head so that we get the maximum length we can in our spine. Bring the top hand down. Rise up, straighten that front leg, and come into our triangle. So it's the same lean to the side here. Side bend here, but the leg is straight now. Maybe we bring the hand down below the knee, above the knee. And this other hand is on our lower back at first so that we remember to keep the shoulders stacked. And if you want more, you take that hand out in front of you or straight up to the sky. And we hold here. And check in with your breath. Nice long breaths here. Stretching through that top side of the ribs and even the bottom ribs. These ribs down here, they shouldn't be compressing. They too should be seeking length by thinking about the energy going from your tailbone up your spine through the crown of the head. And then carefully bring the top arm down, bend into that front knee, and assist yourself as you come up. Pivot to the front and step the feet together into our mountain pose. And then just shake it out, bend the knees, wiggle the body. Beautiful work. So we're going to come back into the chair and we're going to do a little more with some back bending and forward bending. Just be aware, don't go too far. If you've never done these poses before, you can do them a little today, come back to the video on another day, and work with that spine. So the first thing we'll do is a forward bend. So take your feet to the corners of your chair here. Turn the toes out. Now my thigh is supported by my chair. So I'm back far enough so that my thighs are supported. And then we're going to take one shoulder and forward fold here, bringing the shoulder to the center. And inhale it up. So it's not a cat-cow. We're still sitting tall. We're still engaged in the core. We're just forward bending. And you might feel this in your lower back. So if it's a little bend for you, that's okay. Let's try a few on the other side. The other shoulder comes forward and back and up. And make sure you're sitting tall, giving yourself lots of space to do this movement here. One more on this side. And come all the way up. Let's alternate. One shoulder. Sit tall. Take the time to lengthen the spine. And the other shoulder. And maybe you find yourself going a little deeper now as we warm up those muscles, stretching them a little bit, stimulating the tension on the bones, which makes our bones healthier. Keeping your hands on your thighs and weight in your feet, weight in your bottom and your glutes. One more each side. And come all the way up and just rock side to side here. Just kind of tilting the body from the hips up. Shifting the weight from hip to hip. And then come center in, sit tall. Heel toe those feet in so we get a little work in the ankles. And sit tall once again. So that was folding the spine forward from the hips. Now we're going to move up into the middle of the back and we're going to do what's called camel. Camel in the chair. We stay in the chair and we hold the back of the chair. This might be where you begin. Shoulders down, chin slightly tucked. Look straight ahead. And just notice how that feels in your mid-back. And then start to lift through your heart. Lengthen up and forward just a little. Feel the stretch now in the front of your ribs. And stay and breathe. And again, you can stay right here. I'm going to take it one more step. I'm going to slide my hands down and look up to where the ceiling meets the wall. Shoulders dropping down, heart lifts, and hold. And breathe. And on your next exhale, bring the head back to neutral. Release the arms and maybe roll those shoulders again. See how that feels and roll them back and down. So I'm going to turn a little bit more so that you can see where my back is in all of this camel position here. So we'll first start with a little forward fold. This time our shoulders stay neutral and we just come forward and sit tall. Draw the belly in for support on the lower back. And then we'll do a couple cat-cows. Join me. And we'll come back to neutral and breathe from the bottom of the spine to the base of the head. Just in your mind's eye here, watch your breath up and down. And then taking your hands back to your chair, position 1. Just sitting tall, dropping the shoulders down, and drawing the shoulders back. Position 2, we lift the heart. Start to arch in the mid-back. Chin slightly tucked. We slide the hands down and look up. Exhale and release it, and let's roll the shoulders. Wonderful. How did that feel? So moving the spine back and forward, those are probably the most difficult, especially leaning back. And some people, they don't like it because it makes them feel nauseous or dizzy. Don't do it then. Not worth it. We could do cat-cow and get the same motion in your spine. So feel free to do that. Let's take another side stretch here. So take one leg out to the side, stretch that leg out. Keep the other foot forward here. Be well supported in the chair. And we sit tall and we just start leaning sideways, taking the other hand down. It's not really leaning into that leg. All the work is in the upper body here as we come into gate pose. And again, this hand can stay on the thigh. You can hold on to the chair, or you could bring it up straight or over your ear. You take it where it feels best for you. Again, no pain. And make sure that it's the top side that's stretching, but we want to make sure we're not crunching in the bottom side of your ribs here, so it's lifting up. Keeping a little engagement in our whole spine here. And then come up a little bit, place your hand on your thigh and circle this hand up and over. Just nice and easy here. And down. Bring that foot in carefully, shifting your weight into the chair here. Let's just rock side to side again. Let the muscles come back to a balanced position. We always start from balance so that we get the maximum stretch. We'll go to the other side. So we extend the other leg, support this front leg right in the chair, and then we can hold on to the chair, rest that arm on the thigh, take the other hand to the other thigh, and start to lean towards that leg. So we want to make sure we have room back there. I just adjusted myself, so I had room to lean. And maybe we stay here, making the spine long on the inhale, still working on that, so that we make room for our side bend here. And the other hand can hold on to the chair, can come straight up or over your ear. And each of those positions intensifies the stretch here, so go where you can. And as I said, you can always come back to this video and practice and continue to develop your side stretches, forward bends, and so forth. So always look for a class that has that focus if that's what you're working on. And then we'll take that top hand up, bring it back down. And now let's just circle it around a little bit. Bring the body up nice and tall. Just kind of get a little movement in the shoulder as we release. And down, stepping that extended leg in. We're going to take a little twist here. So let's cross one ankle in front of the other. And whatever foot is in front, that's the side you're going to turn towards. We sit tall and we turn and we look over our shoulder. Holding on to the thigh, holding on to the chair, or extending the arms. 3 positions, all good. Focus on the core, focus on that twist in the ribs. Pulling on those muscles pulls a little bit on the bones in your spine, stimulating circulation and giving us a healthier spine. And then we'll release the head and the arms and come forward. Let's cross the other foot now in front. Again, hands on the thigh or the chair to begin with. We sit tall and we start to turn in the direction of whatever foot's on top here. And we can stay here, or we can extend the arms in opposite directions, lifting the ribs, turning a little deeper, and breathing into that side body as we take our twist. And then release the head and the arms. Turn forward and uncross your feet. Lift your heels, lift your toes. Well done, well done. We'll take a rainbow breath here. We'll take the hands over to the side. Spread the fingers, nice big inhale, lift up. Exhale down on the other side and take it back. Big breath here. Take it down on the other side. One more. And pause. Sit a little taller. Chin slightly tucked so the chin's parallel to the floor. Close your eyes and breathe into that spine from the tailbone to the base of the head and back down again. Nurturing the spine with these movements today and replenishing the energy in the body with our breath. Take your hands, rub them, create some warmth in the palms, and then hold it over your face for a moment as that energy soaks in. Still sitting tall, open our eyes and bring our hands to our heart. And bow to your body for its fabulous work for the spine today. Join me again for another episode of Chair Yoga Plus. Namaste.